Both are off-brand coffee.
Off-brand and delicious.
Let's go in here. Can't get any more out to the spoon
You can see me in the glass. Woo! Happy Black History Month. So today I'm going to be sharing the book publishers that I use to publish my Webtoon comics into paperback comic books. And this is helpful for those of you who might not have a literary agent or might not be able to get in contact with the publisher to publish a book. This can help you because it helps me because I also do not have a literary agent. You know, I'm agent free at the moment, so we won't talk about that. But anyways, here are the publishers I like to use. Let's jump into this Webtoon artist rambles because it's helpful for me to have multiple streams of income. So I publish online for the ad revenue income, and I publish paperback for the paperback revenue income. We'll talk about ebooks in another video because I still forgot how I did that process with Amazon, so we'll figure that out later. Delish. Okay, so the first publisher that I use is called IngramSpark. With IngramSpark, they do have a title setup fee. Right here, they have a title setup fee that's $49 for a printed book only, or a title setup fee for ebook only, that's $25. They also have the book and ebook bundle for $49. You might be wondering what are the differences between these two. This one is only going to pay for the paperback. This one is only going to pay for the ebook. This one pays for both. Now, when I say pay, it's just the fee to use their platform for title sign up. But sometimes IngramSpark does have these discount codes to where you can get a free book set up for a limited time using their discount codes. That way you can bypass this fee. But you can't use that discount code with their free ISBN number. We'll cover that more later on. Keep that in mind, hold on to that nugget. But that's IngramSpark. That's the first publisher that I use. The second publisher that I use is Kindle Direct Publishing, or KDP. For them, they don't have a file setup fee like how IngramSpark does. I can just create my books for free, no title setup. I can use their free ISBN or their discounted ISBN, or I can just purchase my own ISBN from the ISBN company within where I live at. I'm in the US, so I think it's called Boker or Bowker. We'll cover that in another video. But this is the second publisher that I use to turn my Webtoon into paperback comic books. Amazon KDP. Here's what I have so far. Third comic book publisher that I use. I love using Kabal. They are a print-on-demand company. I don't need an ISBN number for them. But the thing with this company, I would have to hold inventory. Meaning, they do not create an Amazon listing page or a Barnes & Noble's listing page like IngramSpark and Amazon does. Like Kabal, they print your book for me. They will print my book for me, and then I can have the books delivered to my house. They are print-on-demand comic book publishing company. That's different than Amazon KDP. Does that make sense? So anyways, love using them. Let's go on over to the next one. Their website was called Kabal. Kablam.com. Kabal. The next website that I like to use for print-on-demand books is RA Comics Direct or Nations Print. They have a really good turnaround. Their minimum order requirement for how many minimum books I need to print in order to use their services is about 25. I have 25 copies. With Kabal, I could just print one. I don't need like a minimum order requirement. So Kabal and RA Comics are great for me when I want to print my comics and hold inventory to go to comic conventions. Again, this one and this one's not going to show up on online book publisher websites because these platforms do not give me an ISBN number. Now, like I mentioned in my last video about ISBN numbers, they're basically, how am I going to explain this? They're like your book's ID number for the US. I don't know in other countries, but for the US, an ISBN number is like your book's ID number. That's how book publishers and just like that big old super book brain computer is able to keep track of how many books your book sells and how many books are available in your book inventory in their system. Am I making sense? That's what an ISBN number. It's like tracking and ordering. So if I want to have my books on Barnes & Noble's website, on Target's website, on Amazon's website, I believe I have to have an ISBN number. If I don't want my books on any of those platforms, I could just print them using kablam.com or RA Comics, or there are people who also use Print Ninja. I could use those platforms. The reason why I more so use Kablam the most is because I don't want to have to deal with the minimum order requirement. With RA Comics, it's 25. Sometimes I might not even sell 25 books at a comic convention. I just want one book to stare at. You know? Like, I have it over there somewhere. I just like printing my book and just holding it, and it makes me happy, and I've achieved the goal. You know, if you're like that, then yeah, go ahead, try out Kablam. But that's a publisher that I use, because some people were asking me, hey, what publishers do you use? IngramSpark, Amazon KDP, Kablam, RA Comics. Now, if you are those type of people who need to sell a lot, you have your own online store, or you want to achieve to have your own online store, and you love the customer service of shipping and printing and handling chargebacks and file backs and handling where's my stuff. If you just like the whole essence of running your own store, and you want to hold your own inventory at like a lower price and not have to deal with ISBN numbers, then Kablam, RA Comics, and even Print Ninja is a great option. For me, I like IngramSpark and Amazon because they handle the customer service side for me. You know, like when I had my online store and I wanted to sign books, ship out sell signed copies of my book, I would use Kablam and I would use RA Comics, and then I would open up my Big Cartel online store. Some people use Shopify. I didn't have the money for Shopify, so I used Big Cartel, and then I would get the orders after marketing my stuff on social media. I'll talk about that later. There's a very introvert friendly way to do that. But anyways, after I would market my stuff on my social media platform, and then I would get book orders, and then I would package those book orders and then ship those book orders off, and then the mail would either lose them, or people would end up saying that they never got it even though it showed up, or people would say, I want my money back. I don't like this, and they wouldn't return the book. The customer service side of it, I'm not strong enough to deal with that. So I was like, I can't do this anymore. So what I decided was, okay, what we will do instead, we'll just do a short, small print run, and then carry all those books to comic conventions, and then sign the books that way. We're not cut out for running an online store. I cry easy. Like, why are you crying? I was just asking for myself that. I know, but I cry easy because I feel like I did something wrong because it hasn't, gotten to you yet. But it's like, that's the post office fault. But I can't say, hey, the post office fault, because then you might be like, well, that's rude. I'm like, so I just don't handle that. I don't handle that, no. So that brings me to my next point. I can also use Amazon KDP and IngramSpark if I want to order large lump sums of my book. I can use them as a print on demand service as well. If you want, but then that leads to my next question of well, does that count for book sales for the ISBN number? But then that leads down to the next question of what some publishers tend to do, where they're they get on the New York Times bestsellers, because I heard there was this publisher that ordered a whole bunch of books so that it pushed the popularity of the book sales, and then they ended up appearing on New York Times bestseller. But that's a secret that I heard, but I don't know if it's true, so it's more of a rumor. So don't tell anybody that I told you guys that, because it might not be true, but that's what I heard. But anyways, I can also use Amazon, KDP, and IngramSpark and use them as a print-on-demand service and order, you know, inventory of my books, so I can just carry those and have those over at the comic convention. So I don't know where that leads my train of thought. If you guys haven't guessed, I'm autistic. So there, in autism, it's like an umbrella. There's different types of autism. So if you're like, what's the point you're getting at? I don't know. But those are the book publishers that I use. And if you want to run an online store, you can also use Amazon and IngramSpark and have them drop ship it for you. But that's a conversation for another day. I'm getting off track. What's the other stuff that I want to talk about? Okay, I think I covered everything for today. I think today's Webtoon Artist Rambles went kind of good. I think I did a good job. I think so. Did I do a good job, you guys? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Make sure to subscribe to S-Morishita Studio YouTube channel if you want more of my business ramblings. If you want to see more of like how I do my business and turn my webtoon comic into like a business and stuff, or if you have more questions, like they'll have to be like specific questions because I don't understand generalized questions like, hey, give me more tips. What tips do you need? So like make sure it's specific or else I'm not going to understand. I'll try to understand, but more than likely I'm going to get it wrong. So just make sure it's specific. Okay, I love you guys. Bye.